Hanged up on me a couple weeks ago when I called her a bully.
No, she's not a bully.
She's like, so pretty. Aloha worlds, and welcome to another episode of The Queer and the Queen. I'm Jacoby, act like you know me, Jones, and today I have back with me one of my favorite queens.
The only queen in the world, Ms.Tilly, the one and only. If you find another one, she's a phony.
I know that's right. Today we're going to be reviewing this awesome documentary that just came out called Explant by our beloved Michelle Visage from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Michelle Visage, honey.
And Queen of the Universe, right? That's another show that we're reviewing. Check that out. So before we get too far in this video, please drop down in the description box, comment, ding on the notifications, and subscribe to this channel so you can see when you get more Queer and the Queen. The documentary Explant is about removing breast implants and the history of breast implants, basically where they come from, how they're toxic, can be harmful to the body of a woman or any human, I imagine, and basically just the history and all of that. Now, I didn't know a lot of this stuff, and it was very, very shocking to me. We're going to run down some details, but what was your first overall thought?
First of all, I thought I knew about implants. After watching this, I didn't know shit about implants.
Right.
First of all, I didn't know that it started in 1962.
Right.
I thought this was in the 80s. Girl, what the?
Right. Okay, that was a gag. It was a total gag. So the thing is, they didn't become popular into the 80s. And what it seemed like was that the Dr. Frank Giroux, he created the implant, which was, silicone and silicone and silicone bag with silicone inside of it. And I have always psychologically thought the concept of like some plastic surgery can be okay, but most of the time I've been thinking it's not okay because you're putting toxic things into your body. Now, granted, a lot of people put toxic things like alcohol and things of these natures into their body, but the concept of silicone, right? The concept of a sack, like these sacks of silicone sitting in your chest, and you just have this toxic chemical sitting there forever. And of course, it's just somehow seep into your bloodstream. And this whole like women getting sick, I didn't even know about any of this because I don't have breast implants. But I was blown away. I was blown away by how wrong these doctors have been being, how selfish these companies are. Like I had no idea about any of this. I didn't even know.
It's all about money.
Of course, right. But I didn't even know that they had like a $4.25 billion lawsuit. This woman was all up in Congress. This lady named Sybil Goldrich was like suing everybody across the country because she was getting sick. She had 5 different breast implant surgeries. And this also, doesn't this speak to you? Okay, so I was gonna say, doesn't speak to you about a woman's self-esteem? But the horrible part that I thought was this all started because perverted men like Dr. Frank Giroux had a thing for large breasts.
The fake titties was created in 62, right?
Right.
1972, which is 10 years later, is when the FDA approved it. So, bitch, they were just putting all types of shit up in these girls' tits.
I thought it was 1975. But either way it goes, it's a very valid point.
Either way.
That they didn't check anything. They said, well, no one's complaining, so it must be okay. But we're not gonna.
And then they went ahead and they banned it in 1992. Temporarily, all the way from 1992 to 2006.
Right.
But the weird thing is, people were still getting implants between 1992 and 2006.
Because these women have been bamboozled that they need this.
The doctors, remember that the black label thing that they were talking about? The doctors only see that, which basically says this is what can happen. The patients don't see it. Now, Michelle was talking about, she was interviewing the doctor, and she was like, if she knew ahead of time, she would be like, so it would make her question. And I'm sure a lot of girls would have questioned it.
Right.
But girl, it's all about money.
It surely is. So I found it very interesting that gentleman who worked for the silicone company, Dow something, he worked for them, and he said they did studies that they sat the silicone on a silicone weight to see if it would absorb each other, and it absorbed, and every week it kept weighing more and more and more, which means that the silicone is just sitting there absorbing into your body. And they know this, and they're doing nothing about it.
Not a thing. And to this day, breast implants are number one in surgery, girl. I thought it was a BBL.
Plastic surgery. A girl, I don't even be a BBL, girl. I don't know about no breast implants.
That's another thing, but that's for another video. BBL.
Yeah. I want me a big old ignorant booty.
It will be cute. You want to be shaped like an ant, honey.
I do. Like, I was thinking, why don't they come up with a different bag? Like, why can't they come up with a healthier, not as toxic
by now
bag because instead of using silicone, they use saline now. Okay,
right.
Well,
which is safer.
Right. You got all these.
The bag is still silicone.
Right. But and that's the trippy part, right? But the thing, like, for me, is like, we got all this vegan shit in the world. Everything's going green. Can't you come out with some vegan titties? I mean, like, can't we get some vegan implant? But you get what I'm saying, though, right? Like, a healthy.
Can you imagine a titty made out of like tree bark or some weird vegan shit? It's cauliflower titties.
Exactly.
There's 2 cauliflower titties. Oh my Lord. I agree.
I think we own to something.
When what's his fucking name? Frank Giroux was holding a bag of blood inside of like a plastic bag or whatever it was, and that gave him the idea back in 1960.
This could be a titty pervert. He's a fucking pervert.
What the fuck?
And then his kids was on there. His kids was on there just so proud that their father has invented this thing that
people. I didn't say that. I didn't say he did it, but I'm saying that he knew that it was poisonous, and obviously they're not telling these doctors, and if they are telling the doctors ain't telling the customers, honey. Right. And these women, like Michelle Visage, my Virgo twin, are getting sick from it.
Right.
And then they take it out, and then they start feeling better.
So they're right. Hello. So the study that they did in 1962 to make sure that this was okay was they implanted a saline implant into a dog.
A dog.
Esmeralda. And since she survived, it must be okay.
Because bitches is dogs. I was gagged that they would try that on a dog, but then again, I wasn't gagged because how is it shocking? I mean,
right. I was so happy for Michelle though. Like, and then I saw her at the end.
Yes.
Where she was at this performance where she wore this pink outfit. And she was like, "These are my little bitty titties," and
looking amazing.
Yep.
Still.
Yep. I mean. And then I noticed that actually in the Queen of the Universe episode that we've been reviewing, where her chest is smaller, so she's already had them like in that filming they were already gone.
Right.
But
yes.
I'm just happy that she has done this and she's bringing awareness, because it was so heartbreaking watching so many women who were saying, "I'm sick, something's wrong," and for decades, and they're telling them it's not the implants. Oh, it's all in your head, and that is just so frustrating. They won't listen to you. They make you think you're crazy, and that you're not crazy. So I'm so happy for Michelle and proud that she is bringing this to awareness, because women need this and women deserve this. And you don't need implants. You don't need bigger breasts to be beautiful. You are beautiful the way you were made.
Yes,
just know that.
Love yourself, bitch. And a big shout out to Timmy Jean. She was the first one to get implants in 1962. She was the real test dummy, honey.
Yeah.
Did she? I didn't realize if she still had it when she was doing the interview, because she was like all like covered up and stuff. So I couldn't tell if she
couldn't tell either.
She didn't speak about having them still.
Yeah. And she also said she don't think she ever got sick. Now, mind you,
right.
So some people could have worse symptoms than other people. You know what I mean? But, the fact that
there's over 100,000 women.
Millions.
It was shows.
It was millions. Yeah, it was millions of women.
Well, I read it was 100,000 that are having the problems or whatever like that. It could be more, bitch.
I definitely.
I ain't good with numbers. I ain't no mathematician.
But you know what though? Just the simple thought. Like autoimmune disease, like when you're immune, like the silicone seeps into your blood system and it starts fucking with your nerve system and your autoimmune,
you can't stand up.
System. And the doctor, one of the doctors, was just like, "We knew this, we knew," but Frank didn't care. He just had a thing for big cities. We knew that people could get sick.
And made a whole lot of money.
Billions.
A whole lot of money.
Think. 15 times before you do implants, because
that's worth.
Is this worth your health? And it's not.
Yeah. Are you getting it for yourself?
Right.
Or because some other motherfucker thinks it's cute.
Right.
Like, a lot of people do get plastic surgery because, what they said.
Right.
Girl, they used to call me
lot
Michael
of
Jackson in middle
strippers.
school. Am I getting my nose done? Yes.
They had that one chick at that one lady in the show where she said she worked with this doctor in Houston, and he would send her to the strip clubs every weekend, and she must have handed out 50,000 cards in 6 months, and he had those bitches rotating in and out, revolving.
Girl, with 20% off on the card. I'm like, red flag. If any surgery is it's buy one get one or 20% off, girl, don't go there. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that.
That's all we got for you guys today. This is our review of the amazing documentary by Michelle.
Loved it.
Explant. I loved it. We hope you love it. I definitely recommend watching it because you will be educated on the history and the health and the toxicity of what implants really are about, where they came from, why they were invented, and why you probably don't really need them anyway. Love yourself. Love us. Follow us on all social media platforms and subscribe to this channel.
Hello.
And as we always say, don't forget to smile.